Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Bo. I did get the opportunity to play Fallout 76, and I played it for the last week, and this weekend got about maybe 6-7 hours in on it. Got up to level 13, and I have a couple things. Well, I have 5 goods and 5 bads about the game. Lots of videos I've been looking at online, just basically crapping on the game, and you know what? I am not going to do that. You know, it's just you take the good with the bad, and I think this is a lot to have to do with the learning curve that Bethesda's going through, trying to turn one of their, because they're a single player game, they're a single player game manufacturer, right? They have not really dealt with building online games, especially in their established properties like the Elder Scrolls, or in this case Fallout. So take it with a grain of salt. There are some things that definitely could use some improvements, and stuff that just frankly should force them to consider delaying the game a bit before they get this stuff worked out. So, first thing, the good. Well, I guess good number 1. Interacting with people during events as you see them randomly around the map. Now, you can look at the map on any of the worlds that you populate within, and you can see little yellow blobs. The little yellow dots are other players. So you know where all the other yellow players are. So if you want to go group up with them or do events or whatever, you have that option. But I have a tendency to imagine that there's a couple bads. So one of the bads with this, I guess bad number 1, is that your microphone is on all the time. Anyone can listen to what you're talking about if you have the microphone connected that's enabled for the game. Likewise, you can hear everything they're hearing or saying or doing. So as a content creator, it kind of sucks, because if someone randomly runs up and starts blasting copyright music through their, then you have nothing you can do. And if someone decides to start yelling obscene stuff or whatever, it is terrible. I had to rip out a whole bunch of audio from my live stream over the weekend just because of the fact that there were parts that people had copyright stuff happening, and YouTube picks it up and dumps it. So that part kind of sucks. Good number 2, camps. Camps are great. They're not overly expensive to move around. They're fun. It's kind of cool that you can now have your building anywhere you want, and that, because in this game there are a lot of things that you have to deal with as far as getting resources and doing all that. And there's nothing better than when you're encumbered and you've got like 400 or 500 pounds worth of stuff on you. You can just walk into the woods a little bit, pop open your camp, dump your house, and then you're ready to rock and roll. You can start putting all it away, dump it in your stash, and you're happy. Which leads us to bad number 2. You have 400 weight, period, in the stash in your house. And on top of that, the best part is, if you decide to want to build a house, let's say, because you get this huge bubble around where you can build your camp, you could build a house on that spot and you're good. But the benefit of a camp is it moves around with you. So if the area that you're moving doesn't match pretty close or damn near on exactly where you built your house the first time, you're hosed. So really what this turns into is people building towers, like one square towers, or just jam everything you possibly can into one space, because you just can't place it if you make it any bigger than 1 or 2 foundations in a lot of places. I have been able to manage to get around this issue. The footprint, you have to build a 1x2 just to put stairs up, and then you can build upper floors from there. So you're basically making mushrooms. So you can make a mushroom house, and then you get a whole bunch of room, and then you don't have to worry about the footprint. But that's another video. We'll talk about that. Good number 3, the controls. They're pretty much the same as any of the other Fallout games we've ever played, and there are some nice, useful additions for the quick communication as well as trade windows. And then because that's just the nature of online gameplay, right? So that's kind of nice that you have these new features and you can go through, and that it mimics almost exactly what we had from the other games. So if you're used to having a hotbar 1, 2, 3, 4, even though there's a radial dial, you could still do 1, 2, 3, 4, no problem, as well as being able to say howdy. Now the bad, this is not optimized for a PC in any way, shape, or form. Using Z or C to move different within a menu when you're trying to build stuff, or having the radial wheel at all, is because console people use the sticks. So you can use a radial wheel and then quickly go because you have a stick to be able to do that. For us on PC, you have to click on your mouse and then move your target off. So by the time now you've selected your weapon, your cursor is not in exactly the same place it was prior to you needing to get a different weapon. So maybe not the biggest issue, but with PvP in this game and a couple other things, it's pretty damn important to make sure that you can stay on target when you need to move and change weapons. So that's a huge issue, is the fact that they built this game pretty much for consoles, not for PCs. PCs are kind of like a little frosting on top. And another one you can realize that one real quick is frames per second dictate how fast your character moves in the game. When I'm not recording, my recording is at 60 frames per second, which is still 30 frames faster than people on consoles. So I'm moving a little faster than console people. But when I'm not recording, I'm getting 200 to 220. So I'm basically turning into the Flash running around. So if you have a melee weapon against someone who has a hardware advantage like me, you're hosed. Okay, anyway, back on to good number 4. Good number 4. It's a lot like Fallout 4 on survival mode. If you liked survival mode on Fallout 4, you're set. Ammo has weight. Weapons need to be fixed. You have to drink and eat food. Otherwise, you lose hunger and thirst. If that's something that makes you feel really good, man, this game is going to be the best for you. However, big negative. The negative number 5, bad number 4 is every damn thing's radioactive. You're going to have more radioactive foods and drinks and everything on top of the diseases and parasites and other crap you pick up in this game than anything. So if you're not used to playing a Fallout game on survival mode, and now you're essentially forcing everybody to play survival mode, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. Granted, I have so many rataways and disease cures and all that stuff just because I kill everything and loot everything. But it's annoying. I mean, I get why it's annoying, but it's like, my God. I mean, thank you for making me have to make some squirrel on a stick or other lovely bits of cooking. But it's more annoying than it is fun, having the radiation issue all the time. And granted, we can get mutations and all that stuff at some point, but when you're trying to do early on and you're just trying to get started, it sucks. And then I think good number 5, which is kind of cool, is that, outfits. Now you can have outfits that go over your armor. In Fallout 4, if you wanted to look like, the Silver Shadow, or you wanted to look like other characters in the game, or, Gragnok the Barbarian, or any of those things, you were screwed if you wanted to have any actual armor, because you would have to take off everything just to look like it. So now it's nice is when you put an outfit on, it just shows the outfit, and all the armor and all the other stuff below is hidden away. Not a big deal. Also very nice because no one knows if you have a huge amount of armor or other stuff unless you're wearing power armor or something. So if you're getting into the PvP aspect of this game, that could be a huge bonus because now no one knows who or what has what other than the gun. But bad number 5, right? So here's the thing. When this game first got touted, it was going to be PvP. You'd be able to go out there, snag people. You'd have people like murdering you, come out of nowhere, or you could have friends that come out of nowhere to help you. And it reminded me a little bit of like old school Ultima Online or other parts or other MMOs where, you could be an asshole if you felt like it. But this game, they did a change before the beta launched that essentially put everybody in pacifist mode. So you could go out there and just start plinking every single person you see, but if they don't accept that they want to be plinked by you, it doesn't do jack. So PvP in this game should not even be in the game. If you're going to make it to the point where people have to opt in to get shot in the head, let that one sink in for a moment for, 7 caps or 8 caps? I have not seen many people over 20 caps for a reward. Who the hell cares? You could get more selling a shovel at a merchant than you could trying to kill somebody in this game. It's not like when I used to play Ultima Online, where I'd put a portal up, take people's stuff, raid their house, stick it up on eBay, and make money. You know, that's the old school. That's the time of days that make me super happy, but we'll never see that again. But this game, right? Why the hell even have PvP? Go in there, make an arena. Make something that forces people to have to go in with the concept that we're going to go out and just start beasting on each other, right? And make it something better, like a betting thing, or if you want to put 1,000 caps on it, or you want to put up all your gear as a, you know, that would be cool. It'd basically be like pink slips, right? You know, all my gear for all your gear. Whoever's got the best gets it. That kind of thing would be ridiculous. But that's not going to happen in this game, at least currently right now. But it could. It's an open online world. But PvP, guys, I mean, just stop. It's not even close. It's not even on the same continent of what PvP honestly should or would be in a game. Cooperative, yes. Love it. It's fun running into random people. I enjoy the events. I think it's a fun leap and a different kind of vibe to what Fallout is. But just don't even go the idea that we're all trying to kill each other. It ain't happening. So let's wrap it up. So there are some things, obviously. It's like any new game, new concept. You know, you're coming from the world of Bethesda. Everyone who's played any Bethesda game ever knows there's going to be bugs. There's going to be glitches. There's going to be things that are not going to work as intended. I mean, God help you. That's why a lot of my channel on Skyrim stuff, that's why I have a bunch of views, is because of, thankfully, a lot of people screwed up the resto bug, right? But it's stuff like that that makes Bethesda games Bethesda games. This is just the first time that we're looking at it through the microscope of multiplayer online, right? Nope, there's no NPCs. There's no real story. You're not going to ever find a band or group or anything, right? They're all dead. All you're getting is a bunch of robots and dead logs and crap like that. So I think we need to give it a little bit more time for this game to mature and kind of really see what the essence of this game should or would be. And you know, I think that there's a lot of really good potential. It is fun, right? The only thing I have a problem with is the fact that because we're not going to see mods for 6 months to a year, there's a huge emphasis on consoles versus PC. You know, that modding community really is what kept Fallout 4 going for a long time. And frankly, I think the only thing that they're going to be doing with Fallout 76 is trying to get people to buy as many of those atoms as possible so they can get crap or do things or whatever. You know, and just banking on the fact that microtransactions get there in the online world. Well, anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you had an opportunity to play the beta or have an opinion of what you feel or think when you're viewing this stuff or hearing about the beta, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Again, thank you everybody for spending the time to listen. If you made it this far, why don't you put down Toxic Deluge in the comments below? Mostly because it's a very interesting Magic the Gathering card and lets me know that you made it this far and are paying attention. Toxic Deluge. D-U-L-U-G-E. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you all. Talk to you soon.